Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a fingerless seed stitch glove. Looks like this on. If you like this, then here's what you'll need to make it. To start, you will need size 6 straight needles, 2 stitch markers, a measuring tape, yarn of your choice, and a pen and paper to keep track of your work. So the default pattern listed below will fit most wrist sizes, but if you need to customize it, you'll need to take your tape measure and loosely wrap it around your wrist. So pull it tight and then loosen it up so you have some movement, but not too much. Then you take that amount, you do a test swatch of your stitch, which we'll be using seed stitch. You do a test swatch, which you make a small section, knit a few rows. I did 4 rows. Hold your tape measure to yours and see how many stitches fit roughly in 1 inch. So I go with, for me, in 1 inch is about 5 stitches. So you do 5 and you times that by the inch size of your wrist. So mine was 7 inches times 5. So I'll be doing 35 stitches for each glove. You're going to take 12 inches or so of yarn, and then you're going to make a slip knot. So you take your fingers like this, you wrap it around and up, then you bring it back and through to the front, pull it up, and then tighten it. So now you have your loop. Then you put your needle in and tighten it. If you need to see how to do a slip knot again, you can check the link below for the video on how to tie slip knots. Then you're going to take the shorter end of your tail, leave it towards you, and put the one connected to your yarn in the back. And you're going to wrap the back yarn around your pointer finger, and you're going to put the short tail on your thumb, and you're going to hold the other in your hand down here and pull down to create a V shape. You're going to take your needle and you're going to go to your thumb through the loop, to your finger through the loop, and back down your front loop by your thumb. Let go of your thumb and pull tight. So you take the yarn connected to the ball around your finger, take the short one around your thumb, pull down to create a V, go from your thumb through the opening to your finger through the opening, back down to your thumb, let go, and tighten. And you keep doing that for your recommended stitches. For mine is 35. To see how to cast on, please check the links below for a video on how to cast on using the long tail method. So now I have all 35 stitches here. So now I'm going to turn my needle, so I'll be holding it in my left hand, and then we're going to do a 1 by 1 rib. So we're going to knit 1, purl 1. So you take your right needle and you go in through the loop to the back, wrap your yarn around the back needle and in between. Then you're going to slide your right needle back through the front loop and then slide off the left. Then you're going to take your yarn and put it in between your needles and pull to the front. And you're going to take your right needle and you're going to go through from the back of your work through your next stitch. And you're going to take your yarn and you're going to wrap it around your front needle. And then you're going to pull your right needle back through the loop to the back of your work and off. Then take your yarn and put it between your needles and you're going to knit. So you go through the front loop, wrap around and in between your needles, pull back through the front and off. Then put your yarn in the front between your needles and you're going to go through the back with your right, wrap around and pull through the loop and off. And you're just going to keep repeating that one by one stitching, always remembering to put your yarn in between to the back to knit and in between to the front to purl. So knit, purl, knit, purl. And I'll show you one more time. Yarn in the back. With your right needle, you go through the loop on your left needle to the back, wrap your yarn around and in between, pull to the front, back through the loop and off. Put your yarn in the front, go through the loop from the back, wrap around the front needle and pull through the back. So you're going to take your needle and you're going to rotate it to your left hand, and to keep the one by one ribbing, when you look at your work, you see there's a little bump right here, and over here you have kind of a V shape. This is your knit stitch and the bump is a purl stitch. So to keep the ribbing the same, you're going to purl all the bumpy ones and knit all the V shapes. So in this case we're going to start with the purl. So just like before, you're going to wrap, pull and slide off, and then put your yarn in between to the back and you're going to knit. So you just keep up the one by one knit and purl for 5 rows. So your cuff looks like this. If you want it longer, feel free to add a few more rows. For this particular pattern, I'm only doing 5 rows. So after you've done your 5 rows of one by one ribbing, then we're going to move on to the base of the glove, which is going to be in seed stitch, which is technically the same one by one, alternating stitches to give you that bumpy ridge. So since the cuff would somewhat blend into the first row of seed stitch, we're going to do the opposite of how the stitches are on our needle right now to start the hand of the glove. So in my case, I have purl, knit, purl, knit. So to start the seed stitch, we're going to knit, purl, knit, purl. Okay? So the same as we did for the rib, we're going to knit, yarn in front, and we're going to purl. So when you get to the end of the row, then you're going to make sure you mark on your paper You're going to turn your work around. So now to do seed stitch, you're going to do the opposite of how they lie on your needle. So in this case, it's just like before. We're going to start with a knit on the bumpy stitch, and we're going to purl the flat stitch. So mine is going to end up being a knit, purl, all the way across. If you need more information on seed stitch, check the link below for the seed stitch video that I have on my channel. So we're going to start with a knit and purl. We're going to keep doing knit, purl rows, knit one, purl one rows until we reach the length to the base of our thumb. So when you look at your hand, the cuff should sit somewhere around here. And we're going to knit all the way up to about right here, the base of your thumb, and we're going to start to make the thumb gusset, which will make the glove have the shape of your thumb sticking out of it, and it will form a small finger, a small tube for the half finger glove we are making. Going to continue doing my knit one, purl one stitches all the way to the base of the thumb, and then I will be back and tell you how many rows I have done and start the thumb. So far I have done 5 rows of seed stitch up here. So this is what it looks like right now. Also, while you're knitting, you can hold it up to where you want your cuff to sit on your hand, and you can see how much further you have to go. So once you've got it where you wanted, right at the base of your thumb, I did 18 rows from the rib stitching up is 18 to the thumb. So now you're going to start creating the thumb.